Curtis Snell,
Here.
Chris Soap,
Here.
Bill England,
Here.
Bill John Baker,
Here.
Jack Baker,
Here.
Harley Buzzard,
Here.
Julia Coates, Bradley Cobb, Joe Crittenden,
Here.
Jody Fishinghawk,
Here.
Meredith Presley, Janelle Fulbright,
Here.
Don Garvin, Chuck Hoskin Jr., China Glory Jordan, David Thornton, Kara Cowan Watts,
Honey.
John Masters.
Move.
We do have a quorum. Water.
Move on down to Joe, do you have a passion, please?
Yes, sir, will. Stand. Father, again, I want to thank you for this beautiful day you've blessed us with. It's been great the last several days. And Father, I thank you for it. Thank you for this meeting this afternoon. I thank you for traveling grace getting here. I thank you for our guests. I thank you for Johnny Masters and the group and the food they brought for us. And I pray that you'd bless it for the nourishment of our bodies. Thank you, Father, for the country we live in, for the tribe that we work with and represent, and for the people, those that are out there that we're charged with trying to make their lives better. Help us be good stewards of our resources. I pray for the chair and each council person here. Father, I pray for those standing in harm's way, protecting the way of life and our freedom. I ask that you'd bless them and watch over them. Be with those that might be sick and afflicted today. And Father, help us make good decisions this afternoon. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Move down, now need approval of the September 13th.
Make a motion to be approved.
Motion been made second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I need to make a motion to amend the agenda for new business item number 2. The resolution on question 10 of this 25 CFR Part 170 regulation. It has to do with the IRR road system, and in this amendment, I'd also like to move this to full council tonight. So I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
We're going to motion. Do I hear seconds? Motion second. Got any discussion? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, with Harley's permission, I'd like to sign on as a sponsor too, if I could. And
Sure, and I'll bring this up, and we can bring it up when we go for the discussion in it.
Okay.
Approve it, and we'll ask for anybody who wants to get co-sponsor.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Moving on down, we'll move into our reports.
We need to vote.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Jack. Moving on down to reports, management resources, Andrew Drews. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee members. You've got my report in your packet, and I'll answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I had one question. I think it would be in your department that Paula may have to assist on this, and I apologize for going ahead though. Have we done consultation on gathering rights with the National Park Service? I know it is an issue for our brothers and sisters in Eastern Band, and it should be an issue for us. I think it's more in their backyard. But if we have not actually submitted consultation, even if it was to reiterate the Eastern Band consultation, it's important that we have gathering rights in the National Park Service for traditional plants.
I'm going to say we haven't consulted with them, but I will get with Pat Gwynn to make sure, because I know we do have open dialogue with them all the time, so I will check into that.
I would like a formal update at the next meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do we have any more questions for Angela? Yes, Cole? Yes.
Angela, I think another department sent us this information. You probably worked with them on it. The the foreclosure information, but I think you probably, no, you don't help with that, do you?
That's Anna.
Okay. And did you send us the information on the closings on that one piece of property? Did you ever get the word that we were asking about, the little, it was a little lot next to,
Next to Court Mall. And you wanted the closing information on the exact closing date, and I think, is Linda in? Linda, weren't you going to send that?
Yeah.
Where the Cochran,
it's been all cleared
car
off,
lot.
so I'm assuming it's closed and
Yes, it's
we're in
closed.
possession of it now and.
we're in possession of it, and we were going to let the owners stay there until December
But they've
31st, but they've
left.
gone ahead and left.
They left.
Okay. What are our plans? Do we know what we've decided to do with that? Is that going to be parking for the Courts Mall
The way
activity?
we've looked at that is, there's a larger plan in place to make that an art district / cultural tourism hub. And part of what that was being looked at, and still is, but the plan, is still open for interpretation and changing, is that will be part of where we will have a drop-off for the tour buses that come in.
Right there.
So that's part of the plan for that right there.
Do we have any other plans for other buildings right in there, right in that block area?
Well, if acquisitions come to fruition that we need,
There is
To
some
actually-
other activities in. Would you just give us notice of that possibly if you can as far in advance it happening? Once maybe you've signed the contract?
sure,
Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Bill, John?
Did we get the little office with that car lot?
Yes, we did.
Does it have a bathroom?
I'm sure it does. That's what they used as their office operation, but I can't tell you that for certain because I haven't been in it. Linda, do you know if it has a restroom in it?
I assumed it did, but I hadn't been in it either.
Well, we've got a little lady in Adair County that needs a bath.
Okay.
Did we have any plans for it?
We do not.
Okay. Maybe we could visit later.
That would probably need to go through the donation process, would it not, if that's something that...
Yeah, but
Okay.
let's look at the building and see if it would do everything that lady needs done. It might.
I just wanted to notify you guys that I sent an email to Gail this afternoon on the Riverbed settlement account depicting all the sales with the total of sales and another sheet that shows the settlement installments that we received, so you can take that. I just sent it to her this afternoon because accounting just finished up with it, and so I sent it just as soon as I got it. And if you have any questions on that, contact myself or Callie and just send them in a written format through Diana. That way we can make sure we're communicating that information to you correctly.
Finished, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Councilman Buzzard?
And know that the Bull Hollow office down at near Kenwood has been vandalized and broken into 2, maybe 3 times. And I saw in your report, the Vonnegut shop has also been broken into. What I'd like for us to do, and I'm not sure it's a logical thing to do, but there's 2 or 3 offices that are vacant there in Bull Hollow. Is there any way that we could get somebody to occupy those offices, to stay in there at night? And what I'm getting to, and I brought this up in our community, our day worker program. Assign a day worker to work down there at night just to be around the buildings and around our grounds. I know it would probably take a little bit of training to train in security or to report, but You know, I think we need to use those guys or use those women or whoever we've got to the fullest extent to help the Cherokee Nation. And understand that we've lost some equipment there, and I don't know what we've lost over Delaney, but to me, we need to do something about protecting our facilities that are out in those, I guess, remote communities.
Well, you know, at Bull Hollow, we have the night watchman trailer that, I mean, is not even 100 yards from the building. That they live there, and we lock that gate every night. So we have a family living, a middle-aged.
Oh, at Bull Hall?
Yes,
Down
they
there?
live there, and we haven't had any break-ins at that facility in quite some time. So having a continual presence there really does help that situation. I'd like
I'm not talking about the Bull Hollow shop on top of the hill. I'm talking about the old Bull Hollow building, the old community building down where the water and sanitation people live.
And I guess we'd need to visit with Charlie
Okay.
about that, but I'll get word to him because that's who's housed down there now.
Because my concern is that if these things keep happening like this, and the next thing I'm going to hear that they're going to move that office out of there, I certainly don't want to move the office out of there because, you know, back in the Mankeller administration, that's the reason we put it down there, to get out into the community where people were. So I just want to look at this before that actually comes up, and then we have the fight to keep it down there. So anyway, if you take a look at that, I would appreciate it and see if there's something we can do.
Yeah, I'll share that with Charlie, and then I'll visit with
Okay.
you after the meeting about some measures we've taken at Delaney.
Sure. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Gordon?
I just kind of want to make a comment, maybe in the same vicinity there. But anyway, the Cherokee Creek Park, I've been getting some real good comments on that park, and they really have enjoyed staying there now since we've got security down there a little better and keeping it up pretty good, and they really do like it. So anyway, I'd like to maybe bring forward a resolution or making that park down there the first national park, the second national park or whatever, Cherokee Nation. Maybe even put out some feelers and have a name come out of that area for that park instead of it being South Creek Park. I think everybody gets it confused with the South Creek Park up on
Yeah, they
64.
do.
And I think it would, and even have some signage put in for that area. I think we'd get even additional people down there. But I just want to kind of thank you for what we've done there because
It's a beautiful
coming
location,
around,
and
we've got different groups that's starting to get interested in it, and I think it's going to be nice one of these days. We're going to have a lot going on down there.
and it's a great opportunity to pull together community organizations to help continue the cleanup and beautification of that place, and it'd be something they can be proud of for lots of people to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's an awesome location.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Council Lady Fishenhop?
Did you get the information that I sent you the other day on the land?
Yes, I did. I've turned it over to Natural Resources, and they're looking at it. I'll get you a report on it.
Thank you.
Councilman Bill John?
Yeah, and Harley, you mentioned day work program and this, that, and the other, and of course Diane was late and we'd already closed the meeting a minute ago, but Diane Kelly was just telling me that with the amount of money that we put into day work, that correlates to 2 slots per county per day for the year. So 2 8-hour slots or 2 $50 checks per county is all the money that's in there right now. And I mean, David talked about the South Creek Park, and you know, there was 30 or 40 day workers down there at one time for a month or 2. Okay, and we've got this program down where it's 2 slots per day, 2 slots per day per county is all that we've got. And we really need to be thinking about that program because it's been a godsend for a lot of people.
Any more questions for Angela? Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Moving on down, North State Services, Linda Johnson.
Good afternoon. I believe you have my report in your packet, and do you have any questions?
Ms. Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So there's been legislation that's being forwarded around that has been on the table during full council for several months now. So I just want to clarify the intent of that is when we get a property donation proposed to us, that we would be informed of that property donation prior to any decision being made about acceptance or declining of that property. So we wouldn't pay for that property because that's a purchase, but the donation may have some kind of restrictions to it that it be retained for the tribe. I deleted that part because I didn't want that to be used so we would be informed that this body and this committee, by your department or whoever, I would assume you would have to get that query, or the chief's office, you or the chief's office would come to this committee under that, right? That's my intent. So I want to make sure while we have parties before this gets.
Right.
May they answer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, it's a constitutional provision for a treasurer, so it's a report that will be coming through the treasurer, or it's her responsibility per the provision to report to. I mean, if
Okay, well, and that's, I guess, just to make sure all minds are clear and it's on record, I've heard at different points, which, that may not be factual, so that's why I'm trying to put this out, that before it even gets to Cali, that it could go to a different department, somebody hears about it, should go to Cali. I think Cali should be the one that ultimately helps make the recommendation and acceptance or declining of the gift. But I've heard that other departments have just either not responded to an individual who's offered to donate or has declined without ever going to Cali. So I want to make sure that all then has to go to Cali, and then Cali really doesn't have that responsibility of reporting it back or giving that responsibility to Linda in a report. And Madam Speaker, I don't know if you wanted to add, but is that how you understood? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Any more questions for Linda? Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Moving on down to environmental programs, Tom Elkins.
Good afternoon. Put my stick across here. I'm not sure if you got my report. I probably was delinquent in getting it to you on time, but if I might just take a moment to go through some of the things we've done. We put our own goals in here, and that's really just a guess at what we think we might be able to do through the year. Finishing up this last fiscal year, we did 120% of our environmental reviews, and so we did 1,082. We only did one environmental review for the roads, 17% of what we might have guessed we would do, but those come in sporadically. I mean, we might get 6, 8 in a year, and then they're working on those roads, and apparently we just got one this year, and we did that. Lead-based paint inspections, we did 82% of what we thought we'd do, 205. We guessed at 250, and that's a reasonable goal. Radon, we went from having a standard radon program to where we purchased the radon kits ourselves, and we did about 52%, or 26 of those is all the kits that we did for the radon tests. And then we somewhat went over the goal of 150. We did 176 asbestos tests. We did a few other things this past month as far as on the roadside dumps that I reported last month that we cleaned up. We did some soil tests on there to make sure that any residual stuff didn't go offside or there wasn't any contained in that soil. Let's see, we did some of our standard water sampling, and we were out at the landfill about 6-7 times. One other thing I didn't put on my report that I do not know if it's in your report, but this part I know was not. The gas recovery system that I mentioned, the landfill doing, they proposed a permit modification at the EPC meeting last month, and it was tabled. They didn't know exactly, because it's going to be on trust land, and not only is that gas something that they have to deal with as a problematic issue, but it's also a resource. They can sell that gas or do something else with it, and that's exactly what they're looking at. So the nation feels like it's a trust issue, and they're dealing with the EPIA on that. That has to be in place before the EPC would issue them a permit for that. And then, as you know, I said a while back that Commissioner Green was going to be leaving. This last EPC meeting was his last one. So we have two commissioners, Mr. Fight and Dr. Matlock, and we're looking for a few more. And I've had these questions before about our DOE money. We just, in the last month, got that approved. The final little hiccups on that were, it was all DOE waiting to get their I's dotted and their T's crossed. We have access to that money. The request for bids are being drawn up right now, and I think we'll have that out the door this week or first part of next as far as the request for bids. And then that money also goes, that's for the two CNG sites, one here at this outpost, one at the Roland refueling site, and then we're also getting the money that Mr. Ooze will be using to build the recycling center. So we have that going pretty soon. We're getting that out the door.
Do we have questions for Tom? Anyone? Okay, Tom.
Thank you.
Moving on down to old business, I see none. Moving on down to new business. Kara?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is for the EPA grant for an exchange network, which enables our water quality data to be submitted to the EPA and would specifically buy the equipment to do the server exchange and such, the electronic capability, and I move for approval. And it needs to go to full council tonight.
I hear a second.
Madam Speaker, second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Moving on down to item number 2, Howard.
Yes, I make a motion that the resolution on question 10 of the 25 CFR Part 170 regulation be approved.
Second the motion. Approval is second. No Garvin. Have any questions, any discussion?
Yes,
Yeah. Go ahead, Howard.
yes, I asked Michael Lynn to come over in case there were any questions on the thing, but at this point in time, I would like to go ahead and ask anybody on this committee that want to be a co-sponsor to let you know and have Shelley add it to the resolution tonight. So, and it's a good thing, you know, it's a good thing that we're going to be doing this.
Now, Buell had asked by email.
Yeah.
Full time sponsor.
Yes. Karen.
Harley, did you have it?
That's it, unless people ask questions. Michael's here to answer those.
Lady Coates?
It wasn't a question, but I just wanted to clarify because I don't know if this is actually part of the motion, but this does need to go to full council tonight.
Yes, it
is that
does.
right?
Go to full council.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Councilor Gore?
Yes, I just had a question of Michael. Has the Oklahoma County Commissioners Association been approached about possibly providing a resolution in favor of what we're trying to do?
Yes, they have. It was actually sent out to them beginning this week. A lot of them passed it in their commissioner meetings on Monday. The ones that didn't pass it on Monday were scheduled to be on the agenda tomorrow due to today being Columbus Day. But as of last Friday, Thursday or Friday, we had between 36 and 40 counties pass a resolution posing what the question 10 issue.
I don't know if the rest of you are getting the information from the Oklahoma County Commissioners Association, but I think they're having a meeting, and we possibly could get a resolution from the state group, which I would think would be helpful if somebody would approach them. And I believe Doug Hubbard is part of the leadership group. So you might talk to Mr. Hubbard and see if there's a way that we can get a resolution from the state group.
Okay. I'll do that.
It might be for counties like these folks here that maybe can't get theirs. Shall remain nameless. I'll just point to both of them. Since they're having a hard time getting anything from their commissioners.
Did you point at me?
Yeah, I pointed at you.
Okay.
Councilor Watts?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Have we approached Governor Henry about a letter and phone calls to the agency and our federal delegation on this?
Governor Henry was approached through the Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Ridley. He has been briefed on the situation, and he has spoken to the Oklahoma delegation about the issue. So yes, to answer your question, yes, not through the tribe, but through the state DOT.
Well, no, and that's great. That's all. I just want to make sure all boxes or things are checked. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Any more questions? Yes, Harley.
I just want to point out that Michael is chairman of our tribal advisory board there in Oklahoma City. What they do is have a meeting, is it once a month yet, Michael? And they meet with ODOT officials, the Secretary of Interior, Secretary of State, Secretary of the Roads Program, and also Gary Wrigley, the director there, usually comes down to those meetings. So Michael has pretty good contact with state officials, and they in turn can help with the federal officials. So, good thing, Michael. I'm proud to be serving as chairman of that board.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have no questions for Michael? Thank you, sir. Moving on down to announcements. We have a motion second on this resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Now we move on down to announcements. We got announcements?
Mr. Chairman, I have some items for discussion at the Executive Legislative Conference. Happy to pass out if you all like, and happy to add anything if you all have anything to add to the agenda. Chief asked earlier today, I think Gail sent you all a message. If there's something you need to discuss, you're more than welcome to put something on here or bring it up at the conference at 5. Hope to see you there. Make it on that side. Do you want her?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Do we get?
I have one announcement. Saturday the 16th, there's several of us, 100 I think, will rappel off the Hard Rock Hotel. We're coming off the 19th story. And hopefully we come down the road nice and easy and not fall off. But anybody's invited to come. It's from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and they have a little party afterwards, so if I can make it to the ground, I repel at 10 minutes till 5. If I can make it down, I'll have a Pepsi Cola. So, everybody come out. Thank you. We're moving on down to next meeting scheduled for November 22nd at 4 o'clock. And adjourn.
Adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.